Happy 2023! It is a new year! Hooray! New years are kind of refreshing. They can bring a new start and kind of spur us on to things that we want to think ahead on because we've got a whole empty year ahead of us. I want to help you think on your thoughts in this new year, specifically related to your pregnancy. I want to help encourage you to find the mindset shifts in pregnancy that you need while growing this baby and while you yourself are growing and learning during the whole process. I learned with each of my pregnancies, they were all hard, but as I shifted my mindset, I found that the pregnancy went a lot better for me and my mind, despite some physical difficulties that I have gone through. And I want to share those with you. Let's jump in. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Thanks for joining. This is a new year. What do you want for your pregnancy? What kind of thoughts do you have when you think about being pregnant? What are some reoccurring thoughts that come to your mind during your days about your pregnancy? Do you desire to shift your mindset during pregnancy to find a little bit or a lot of happier thoughts and mindset shifts when it comes to growing a baby within? I know that when I was pregnant, I craved for positivity. I wanted positive encouragement because it felt like a righteous endeavor to bring children into this world. I grew up always wanting to be a mom and to have a lot of children, and after being pregnant, I kind of doubted that endeavor. I didn't think I could have a lot of children because pregnancy was so hard. I was not prepared for all the physical and mental challenges that pregnancy brought, and I let myself dwell on them. I had pity parties all the time about how miserable pregnancy was and how frustrated I was that I had to go through it to bring these children into the world. And then I also felt shame and guilt. I felt like I wasn't living up to who I had always wanted to be because I just didn't think I could get through it. And all of those things were really heavy. And they made my mindset of pregnancy not very good. I imagine if you are listening to this podcast episode that you want some help with your mindset. You want to learn from someone who has been there. Someone who has felt what it feels like to kind of be in the depths of despair with being pregnant, dealing with the aches and pains and sicknesses and emotional disruptions that can come with being pregnant. I have had 4 babies and 1 miscarriage, and the first 2, I just was stuck. I was stuck in that rut. And between the second and third one, I started learning a little bit about thoughts and how our thoughts work and how that was related to self-help. And I kind of got on this kick. And I was like, wow, if these thoughts and shifting my thoughts can help me in my role as a mom, in my role as a wife, and in my desire as a person, what could they do for pregnancy? So with baby number 3, I decided I was going to experiment with it. And I was just going to try these mindset shifts to see if it actually did anything. And to my astonishment and surprise, it helped. And I know that if you are willing to implement what I teach on here with consistency, it will help you in your pregnancies too. And you won't feel so weighed down and heavy by the changes that pregnancy brings, but also you won't feel so weighed down by the guilt and shame that you can feel when just feels so hard and you just don't know if you can do it again, and you can kind of get stuck in those negative thoughts. So I'm hoping that I'm able to articulate my thoughts and what I have learned well enough that you are able to implement these mindset shifts for better pregnancy, a more positive pregnancy, as the name of the podcast, Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood. Because that is what I want for you. I want you to enjoy this beautiful season of bearing and carrying a baby within your womb. It is a sacred and special honor, and as women, it is a sacred privilege to be able to do that. Now, I know a lot of you might not be at that spot yet, thinking that pregnancy is beautiful and all those nice things I just said. And that's why we're going to start with the mindset shift that I want you to start experiencing for this year, for 2023, and for your pregnancy. And that mindset shift that I would like to focus on for this episode is love. If you have listened to any of my recent podcasts, I have really been on a love kick. And I think that is because I am realizing the power of love and how it has transformed me over the last few months since I realized how powerful it is and how powerful it can be in pregnancy. So this is not one that I really experimented with a lot during pregnancy. The areas I experimented with and found great success with during pregnancy was gratitude, changing the negative to the positive, and pregnancy-specific affirmations. But I feel like love can be the basis and the foundation to all of those, and they can build on each other and help you to find the mindset shift that you need to have a great pregnancy in 2023. So how do you feel love? What do you even mean? What do I even mean by focusing more on love and feeling more love? And I'm going to give you a few suggestions and then a encouragement that I've encouraged on my motherly episode. I do a motherhood episode every Friday, and I've already talked about this in that episode, but if you apply it in your pregnancy, I think it'll be a good foundation for things being a little bit easier to implement the other things that I teach. And that is finding love. For me, it was really hard to find love for my pregnancies when I literally hated everything about it. I hated getting big, I hated stretching, I hated being tired, I hated being sick, I hated all of it. It was tough. It really was tough. And until I switched my mindset, I hated it. I did not enjoy it at all. And so the first thing I did was to find gratitude. And I kind of want you to do the same thing, but in relation to love. It's very similar, but instead of looking for things you're grateful for, which you know I encourage all the time on here, I will encourage you to think about things or people that you love. It could even be a hobby or an activity or something that you just really love doing, someone you really love being with, or something that makes you feel love, and dwell on that. When negative thoughts about pregnancy or about your role as a mother or as a wife come flooding in, think about something you love and just let yourself dwell on that love. And even better, if you can bring some of that feeling of love, if you can actually feel the love, it will be even more powerful. A lot of what I teach is just basically redirecting our thoughts. And I want to give you a lot of different ways and avenues to help you in redirecting your thoughts to the more positive emotions. Now, sometimes we do need to just feel the negative emotion. And unfortunately, during pregnancy, it happens that we need to feel those negative feelings a lot more often because they tend to build up a lot faster. Because there are things happening to our body that are outside of our control, that are different than we're normally used to. And so as you take the time to feel it to heal it, this will get easier. Redirecting your thoughts when they're negative to positive ones, like to positive thoughts of love, will get easier as you take the time to feel it. If you haven't felt the pain, I suggest you go feel some of that pain. It's not fun, but it is actually very relieving. That's a podcast for another time that I've also done episodes on. But for this episode, we're focusing on love. And I want you to try and think of things that you love. Now, I told you at the end of this episode, I was going to leave you with an encouragement, and I am. And that encouragement is every time you see yourself in a mirror, I want you to look at yourself and say, I love you. I love myself. And practice that. Practice that over and over again. As much as you think of it, if you are having a hard time coming up with things you love or people you love or things you've done that you love, practice loving yourself. Even if you don't feel there yet, just repeat it in your mind. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. As often as you can think of it. And as you go on, as you consistently do this with time, it is going to bring forth beautiful and delicious fruit for you, for your family, and for your pregnancy. Let's feel more love in being a mom and in carrying these sweet little infants within our bodies. I am cheering for you. I know that this is hard because I have done it 4 times in a miscarriage, and it's not easy. And if you were like I was and you need some extra positivity, I've created a mini course called the Positive Pregnancy Program, where it encourages you to find positivity in pregnancy. They are short, just 2 to 6 minute videos that you can watch on demand on your phone anytime you need an uplift of positivity. You don't even have to move or do anything. You just have to log into your account, look at the videos, watch the videos, and let your mind work with them. This can help transform you during this time. And instead of it being 9 months of hell, you will begin slowly, but it will happen, to find more beauty in your pregnancy. And it won't feel as much like hell. It'll feel more like a sacred beauty. I am cheering for you, Mama. You can do this. If that program interests you, it is the top link in the show notes. I am, as I've mentioned before, I'm adding more videos to it. I'm getting audios, and it's going to be, when it's all said and done, it's going to be really good. You can snag it now for a low price, but once I get everything in line the way that I imagine it in my head, the price will go up. But you'll still have access to the videos that are added and the audios that are added if you purchase now. Anyways, that's my thoughts for today. Anytime you walk by a mirror, look at yourself and say, I love you. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.